we can already kind of just get started and open up this beautiful space that I believe in so, so much, which is investing in Indigenous cultures. It's so, so important for us to actually, when we're stepping into the future, honor our roots and where we come from. And I think, all of us here have different experiences in, connecting very deeply with Indigenous cultures from all over the world. Myself and Maren right now are in Mexico and connecting with the Mayans, and you guys are really going to be in for a treat of all these beautiful stories and initiatives that are being created. And we really hope that everyone watching can jump in and participate and support, and we can create a real communal field, because this is really what this is about, all of us jumping in. So ladies, I honor you so deeply for your work. Thank you for being here. I'm so, so grateful, and I'm really excited for what gets to unfold and the frequency, because this is one core seed of light that we get to ignite, and it's going to ripple out into the world to everyone listening right now, everyone that you guys interact with and share these messages with. So I'm really stoked. I have my Mayan cacao right here in my cup ready. It says hope. Oh, and Maren as well. Cheers. And so before we start, I would love for us all to take a deep breath together. Everyone that's listening, if we just want to close our eyes and tune into our hearts, feeling the beauty and the presence and the grace of this moment and what we get to create here, and the deep honoring of the feminine and moms we trust, honoring all of our collective mothers in this moment, breathing in deeply and exhaling. Let's take another deep breath into our hearts. Deep breath in. And this last deep breath, we're going to send up through the sky, connecting all of our energies all across the world, everyone that's listening right now, and sending a wave of light over the earth, spreading so much love and so much gratitude. Deep breath in, sending out through the top, and release. I thank you all so deeply for being here. Thank you to everyone listening. Thank you to everyone on this panel, and for Anu and Lily and all the beautiful team that have come together in creating this space. So excited. Love you all so much. Taking another deep breath and coming back into the space. Opening your eyes when you're ready. Hello, hello, hello. Beautiful, beautiful angels and goddesses. So we have some really powerful leaders that have come together in service of spreading this message and spreading the importance. I would love to start with Brandon, actually, if you want to introduce yourself and the amazing work that you're doing with Unify, and just give us a little, just a little brief introduction of what you're doing and what you're bringing into this space today, what you're arriving with.
Yeah, thank you, Virginia. Really pleased and honored to be here today, and particularly at a conference honoring women and in this group of powerful women. A lot of my background, and I forgot we're not labeled. So again, my name is Brandon Keating, and a lot of my background is in politics, nonprofits, and community organizing. I'm really excited and honored to be here as a co-founder with Marianne and Haley of Lightspace, which is a female-led, female-founded consultancy working on regenerative land, regenerative economy, regenerative agriculture, very holistically. And my organization that is additional to that you mentioned, Virginia, Unify, which is spelled funny. I'll put it in the chat. It's spelled YOUNIFY. Unify is a nonprofit organization that works synergistically with Lightspace and other folks working on investing in Indigenous communities. A lot of my background and motivation actually comes out of being a person raised by a single mother and seeing the power dynamics there. And of course, working in politics, there's a little bit of energy there that doesn't always center the divine feminine, let's say. And I think there's such power in both understanding those power dynamics, working to shift them and shifting them such that they both center the divine feminine and center Indigenous communities and the communities that when we seek to invest, whomever we is, whether it's philanthropists, investors, impact investors, or folks who are just wanting to help, that if we are wanting to help from outside the community, we are helping in a way that centers and elevates the community, and that we are not inviting the community to the table, but that we are coming to their table to help elevate and build. So that's a lot of the work that we do in Unify, with a mission to reduce polarization and cultural divisions of all kinds in service of accelerating progress on the key challenges of our time. And we have a few mechanisms for doing that. We convene folks across multiple sectors: business, philanthropy, not-for-profit organizations, and arts and entertainment, business, many others. We have a leaders network that's for folks who are existing leaders from those sectors across generations, geography, and cultures. We have a grassroots place-based element to our organization so that we have folks with their hands on the levers of power through the leaders network and at the grassroots connected strategically and tactically. And we also conduct training for other individuals and organizations, again, in service of empowering the communities that we seek to help, and putting them in the driver's seat. And the last thing I'll say for this moment is that part of the intersection of the work between Unify and Lightspace is really focused on that regenerative piece. We have what we call a solutions lab around climate change, sustainability, and regenerative systems. So really excited to be here and part of the conversation and with these beautiful sisters. And I see Abril is here now. Wonderful to see you. And I'll hand it back.
Mm-hmm. Marin's just like celebrating, like, yes, yes. Celebrating you, sister. Thank you for your work. And this is just, it's so important, and it just gives me so much hope. That's why I picked this cup today, just with hope. And yeah, so I want to bring it next to Marin, and I just, want to introduce this lovely lady as just such an incredible catalyst and such an amplifier and such a connector of and a bridger of so many different worlds. It's actually because of Marin that I'm actually here in this moment, because of her wonderful retreat that she did here in Tulum, where she brought so many beautiful leaders together. I was there with all of these gorgeous ladies, and just really honor you. Thank you for the work that you're doing. Thank you for everything that you're doing for, Abuelo Antonio and Abuela Antonia, Abuela Sofia and the Mayans, and, just incredible. So thank you for bringing us all together. She is the instigator and the creator of this panel. And so I would love her to introduce herself, talk a little bit more about her amazing work and Lightspace, and and what you're arriving with today, Marin.
Jenny, thank you. Such a beautiful, beautiful introduction. Just love you, sister. Thank you. It was super, super beautiful. And it's truly all of us together, coming together in this space, and each of us contributing what we do and uplifting ourselves and each other and our communities. This is how we do. As women, as people, as earthlings, this is how we make the change and co-create the worlds that we know is not only possible, it's happening and it's here. So I'm super, super honored and blessed and delighted to be on this panel with you all, dear sisters. And Brandon, it was such a delight hearing from you always. It was so beautiful just all being together in Tulum in a couple of weeks ago. And because it's in this time when it's with COVID and all of these things and travel restrictions, to come together in a space of just pure love and pure trust. And this goes back to Jenny's work as well with I Trust You. And it's really all of us coming together in these spaces of pure love and pure trust, where we can really come together to co-create these solutions that measurably elevate the quality of life of not just the community here, which is super, super important, the Mayan community. It's just like, I'm so honored and blessed to be here in Tulum. And very, very close to the Mayan community in Abuelo Antonio and Sophia, and incredible work that they're doing with the Mayan communities here. It's so beautiful to really deeply immerse with the communities here, to really be on the ground. And that's my joy, is to really work with communities and to be integrated and to learn from the communities themselves, to learn from people with their voices and listening, deeply listening to what are some of the challenges that people are facing, and and also what are some regenerative solutions that are.
Oh, I think we just lost her. Oh, she's coming back on. Tanya, we can't hear you, love. You're on mute, but you look gorgeous today. I was like, when you came in, I was just like, wow, that hat and your hair. There she is. She's back now.
Tanya is always always super, super beautiful and stylish. I always love your hats.
And she's up again. Here we go. We are in Mexico, family, so internet here can always be interesting.
Super true. And this is one of the things, it's really how do we that's a perfect case in point, of course, it's how do we solve these these digital divides, like how do we actually do it? How do we implement systems here that can really measurably connect people here, and people all over the world, like, to each other? Like, how can we, when people don't have connection to internet, they may not have internet at home, Sophia, who is
on mute, Marin.
So she works with, this is exactly, it's so funny because it's literally case in point, it's like, how do we eliminate these barriers that that are blocking people from communicating to each other and to the world? Sophia, and I was just with her, and she was sharing about the Mayan women that she works with that don't have access to, like, phones, computers, laptops, like they're with their families at home, and don't have access to these educational resources, these tools, all these things that are super necessary for people to be measurably connected, and it's not just, and perhaps not everyone wants technology, so, like, that's the thing, is, not creating a system where at least there's the option and there's the resource, and this is one of the projects with the and I'm completely uninspired. I'm completely speaking from the heart right now, and I just recognize this is this is either there are succinct points, and also truly, with the project here at Abundancia Maya, creating a center and a hub for. Okay. Great. And so with Abundancia Maya, creating a center here in Tulum where Mayan communities can at least have the access, if they want it, to all of these abundance of resources that are available to our global community. And this is the outcome of the gathering that we hosted here. And thank you, Virginia, for all of the praise. It was truly such a co-creation with all of us together. I'm super honored and blessed to be in the role of inviting, a dear family who I know will be synergistic and who deeply care about the Mayan legacy, the Mayan community, and also these spaces are such an epic co-creation of all of us together, contributing what we do to creating the space and to making it happen, and I have so much love.
Wait, you're on mute again, love.
So funny. So I have such abundant love and gratitude for all of the family that came in to go create this space. It was such an honor and a blessing to be together with everyone. And I'm so excited for the outcome of this, since it's been 2 weeks since the event, and we've been in this beautiful flow with everyone contributing what they do to this project, and we're
Sorry, everyone. I'm not sure what. It's so interesting that it keeps on coming in and out. Like the internet feels good. Yeah, there you go. Oh. I was actually gonna bring on the question as well. Maybe let's give Maren a little bit of time as well to figure out a little bit the internet. Wait, I'm gonna bring her back in.
Okay, awesome. I just to this last point, because this is so it's so funny, even the energetics of this. So this is we're co-creating a platform for Mayan abundance. So it's called Abundancia Maya, and it's a synergy of the Okay, it's a synergy of the abundance of Mayan wisdom, the legacy, the education piece, the permaculture, the incredible arts and artisans that are creating these beautiful products all across the Yucatan and all across the world. Truly, the Mayan community is such a powerful community across the world. Silvio and I, we're super honored and blessed to be with Abuelo Antonio this past week as he met with the indigenous leaders of the Yucatan across the Yucatan, and synergizing and unifying the Mayan communities across the Yucatan into.
You're on mute again.
Wow. Yeah. Into a unified front, so that the communities can measurably co-create together. And so then Abuelo Antonio also met with the president of Mexico, and when he and the president of Mexico.
What a cliffhanger. We're just like, what did the president say?
Virginia, I love you.
He issued a public apology. This is so.
Oh, I don't understand. Okay. This is my first time ever seeing something like this happen. I wonder if it's the internet or the program or what's happening.
I think it's a powerful enough message that it's literally like the whole thing is like. So the president of Mexico issued a public apology on behalf of. He issued a public apology on behalf of the country of Mexico to the Mayan people this past week. And so, yes, thankfully it happened.
Wow. Wow. You're on mute again. There you go.
So now, what we can do and what we're working on as a team, is to really, for people to come together to measurably support and contribute to the thriving of the Mayan legacy in this moment, and galvanize global resources to measurably uplift the quality of life of Mayans across the world. After Abuelo met with the president of Mexico, Silvio and I went to a Indigenous Council meeting with Indigenous leaders across the world. Bolivia, Colombia, Mexico, all of these incredible Mayan leaders came together in this beautiful council meeting. And we had the honor and privilege of being there and deeply listening to the prayers and to the issues and what can we do? Abuelo Antonio is the leader of the Mayan elders and the head of the Mayan leadership across the Yucatan, also across the Americas. He is a global leader in this. And so everyone is coming to him with, what their communities need and what some of the challenges that they're facing, and then also some of the solutions for global regeneration that are super present within the Mayan legacy and community. And so we deeply listened, and have incredible video of all of this. Not of the council meeting, of course. Meeting with people individually. So we're co-creating a proposal for the government of Mexico and also a global proposal for how we can all come together to create a platform and an ecosystem that measurably elevates the quality of life of Mayans, and that also shares about the abundance of resources and regenerative wisdom that is uniquely Mayan and that can be implemented around the world for global abundance. The wellness, the arts, everything that is the permaculture, the farming, everything that is uniquely Mayan, that has always been Mayan and that Mayans have been leading in since the beginning of Earth. These are the practices and these are the traditions that are super, super necessary and are truly the golden key to uplifting the whole system. So and for the world, it's so beautiful, the abundance of resources that are here. So this is the outcome of one of the gathering here in Tulum, and we are continuing this. And we super welcome global participation and anyone who feels called to get involved. We are co-creating a council for we're saying that we're the Rainbow Warriors Council for the Mayan people. And it's how are we rainbows? How are we the bridges between the Mayan community and the rest of the world? And so we're all contributing what we can in our superpowers and our strengths and to this project, and we would super welcome anyone who feels called to get in touch with us, because this is truly a global effort, and we hope to create a model as well that can be replicated at scale with Indigenous communities around the world. Is at this moment in time that it is super necessary for Indigenous wisdom and all the abundance of resources to be highly valued and shared with the world as each community wishes, and also for resources, an abundance of resources, global resources, to go towards sustainably elevating every Indigenous community and guardians of the planet into a state of sustainable thriving. It is the time. Now is the time where we can all measurably co-create this together, and we can dedicate investing is, it's our time, it's our resources, it's our energy, whatever it is that we can contribute, to this paradigm. and to this effort, and really deeply connecting with, if you with our roots, Virginia, as you mentioned in the beginning, like I feel very, very, very close with the Mayan lineage and the culture, and as I've been here, I feel like this is my roots, in so many ways, and and our roots go, it's our DNA, and then it's also like what we, it's our physical, and then it's our soul, right? And so, my roots are Irish, and Jewish, Russian, Polish, German, and French. And I feel such a soul connection with the Mayan people and culture, and so I'm very honored and blessed to dedicate my time, energy, and resources to this effort, and also to co-creating this beautiful thriving abundance for the Mayan people and for the world. It's such an honor and a joy. And I will pause there. And thank you so much for the space to share. And I love all of you dearly and deeply. And I'm so honored and delighted and blessed to co-create this with you all. And I love you.
Same, Maren. Same. So excited. Yeah, so this is just such a beautiful space and such an important space. And I really feel like this conversation, this panel began many, many days before even us gathering here. And, we've all been in connection, like us ladies, and we got on a call, a few days ago to really set in the frequency and set in the energy and the intentions of what we want this to be. And Tanya, to bring up next, I want to say your beautiful full name, Tanya Arayales Rodriguez. Am I saying that? Arayales Rodriguez. Tanya Arayales Rodriguez. Qué lindo, me encanta. So Tanya, when we jumped on the call the other day, she was sharing some really profound wisdom. And one of the things that she was saying is that when we are coming into an Indigenous community, the most important factor is trust. And really, when we step in, there's a sense, because of everything that's happened in history, which is understandable, and what we see out now, here in Mexico, is that there's a sense of kind of foreigners coming into the lands and them taking. And so it's like when someone comes and says, "I want to help you," there's a little bit of like an energy of like, well, can I actually trust that? What are you actually coming here with? And as myself, I raised money for the Amazon when the Amazon was on fire, over a year and a half ago now. And I flew down to Bolivia, and I was in the Amazon rainforest, and I was helping. And I definitely saw that in the nonprofit world, that a lot of people were not helping because they were connected to the Amazon or connected to the culture, but it was more like they wanted to be seen like looking good, doing something for others, So I think there's like there's a big piece in that. And so I think that's also where the mistrust comes from. Is this like, are you actually doing this just for or for me, or what is the relationship? So Tanya, I would love to hear from you a little bit more about your work, what you're doing, what you're arriving with in the space. And if you can share with us more also how trustworthy to Indigenous cultures, and really that we're coming from a space of service and love, and really come ourselves. And so I'd love to hear some of your wisdom on that, Tanya. I think you need to unmute yourself as well. So there's a microphone in the bottom. So it should be under our window. Tanya, can you hear me? I can't, unfortunately, unmute you myself. Someone's saying to refresh. If it's not working, maybe refresh the page. And then under where our pictures are right now at the bottom. Okay, cool. She's going to refresh in. I really love this hop-in system, though. I think it's really beautiful. And like, I love the chat is easy to see. Like, it's a really, so I'm glad that we're using this technology. And thank you to the admin here in the chat that's helping us troubleshoot right now and telling us to refresh. And I hope Tanya is able to come back and share. She's also a mama. So when we were on her call, we got to see her baby. So and honoring all the beautiful mothers in this space. And thank you. That is something that truly unifies us all. We all have a mother. We all came from this beautiful being that brought up so much courage and brought us so much love to bring us into this world, for 9 months and then raising us for the rest of our lives. So honoring to mothers. And I really hope that Tanya can now unmute. Are you able to see the unmute under? She still can't see it, or I don't know, or she's trying to unmute. And are you on your phone? So this software really works the best on a computer, and if it's on Chrome. Yes, someone's saying that you might have a firewall, Tanya, that is stopping from connecting to the microphone. So while Tanya is troubleshooting, I'd love to bring it over to Haley. Haley, my dear, I have so much love and honor for you. She's actually the one that brought me into, the Light Space retreat to begin with. We met a while back in Bali, and I just have your bio in front of me, Haley, and I just want to read a little bit out of it because this is so beautifully worded. So Haley Findlay creates regenerative ecosystems that accelerate entrepreneurs and economies. Haley is an innovator, a global speaker, earth investor, and holistic regeneration advisor for world-conscious brands, eco-entrepreneurs, family offices, multilateral, multinational, and multidimensional organizations. Like, I love you. You're amazing. Please share with us some of your wisdom and, the work that you're doing and really what you see anyone coming into this space of how can we invest in Indigenous cultures? How can we come together and how can we support? Where do we start? Where do we begin?
Sure. Thank you so much. And one of the I think my favorite things is in this whole new paradigm year that's kicked off. All the goddesses here, we love making up some words and just creating new sounds, new tones, new initiatives, and that's kind of what sparked some of the fun language in some of my writings, and really wanting to bring that in to the modern day. And that's also one of the big focuses of myself when building systems and working with different communities. It's really about going back to the origins, going back to your roots. And for me specifically, it's weaving in the ancient wisdom, the indigenous wisdom, ancient technologies, if you will, practices from thousands and thousands of years ago, where now we're building systems and cultures and cities that are completely disconnected from our past, which doesn't make any sense to me, but not a genius over here. But you would think, let's continue down the path of what's worked in that regenerative cycle. So it's very confusing when I see entrepreneurs or even just events or nations start to go down this path that's really kind of a snow down the hill, and the momentum keeps going down, down, down. And it's like, let's pause, let's for a moment, let's see what's around us, let's co-create instead of just trying to react and and just causing more energy and maybe not in the right direction. And where can we stand still, pause, take a moment, and listen to our past, and then design our future. And that's where I like to bring those two in the middle. And I like to think of myself as a futurist, as well as many of the entrepreneurs and amazing women here. And a lot of that was instilled by my mother, and her vision for a future that was beautiful, that was warm, that was loving, empathetic, and that was really whatever I wanted to create. So it allowed my brain to start believing in that I can create anything, and that anything is possible. But to not get too far into that future, right, where you lose your roots, you lose your grounding, you lose your connection to the earth, as as the earth and land is what grounds us. And I tie that back into that indigenous wisdom and bringing in the practices and the origins into, again, whatever we are building, and going from countries to countries and communities to communities, always having that lens of what's local, what's working. And again, to Brandon's point that she had mentioned earlier about elevating. But for me, my big focus and what I love to share with the world too, and to support is bringing in those practices and origins from the past, weave it into our modern day and how we can architect our future. So that's what I love to do.
Aho. Thank you, Goddess. I'm so excited and I'm so grateful for all that you do and all that you bring. I would love to bring Abril up as well. I don't know, Abril, if you can hear us, or I've seen you drop in and out a little bit. Are you able to turn on your camera, or are you able to share? Let us know if from a tech standpoint things are working over there. And otherwise, Tanya, if you're able to. Abril, can you hear me? I definitely hear some background noise. Abril, can you say something? Tanya, can you say something? Otherwise, we will move it on to Brandon. So Brandon, as you're in this space and on this panel right now, like, what is coming up for you that you feel like is really important to share on, how we can take action?
Can you hear me?
Can't hear me? Oh, I see. Someone can hear. I can't hear Tanya. Abril, can you keep speaking? Okay, it's not. So Brandon, maybe if you want to share, just what's been coming up for you and what do you think is really important to bring into this space in this moment?
Okay, so I cannot hear you, but that's great that at least you can hear me. My computer got very, very, very slow.
Virginia, do you want to type something for Abril to respond?
Okay, so I can't neither hear you or see you. Do it, and then you can just type you want me to ask.
I can read you, yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Well, first of all, hello, everybody. Hello to my dear sisters that are here.
Hello to the people that are watching us. I feel very, very happy that we can have this conversation. So a little bit about myself. I studied actually the translation into English. I don't know how to there's no translation of the career that I studied. It's probably something like arts and cultural administration, but what my professional career focused on, I did 5 years of studying learning how to bring communities, how to build communities or how to bring communities back together again. Yes, through art and culture, through preserving their traditions, or even traditions that have already been lost, bring them back to those communities so that the economy becomes active, to dignify their culture, and to even like battle against violence, like when communities honor their traditions and make a living out of that, and they are stronger and less sensitive to globalization, which is the case of right now in our world. So along with that, I've been for almost 15 years in the holistic path, training myself in different philosophies all around the world. So in Tulum, I've been here for almost 5 years. I'm putting these two together, and now I'm focusing more in Mayan wisdom, in Mayan culture. So I've been working with some elders that have guided me, because what I've noticed is that when I approached the Mayan culture through the anthropological vision, the anthropologists, I noticed that they are very aseptic into all the rituals and the magic context. So I started to look who could guide me into a more holistic approach, more human. And since then, I've been learning from some abuelos, from some elders that have taught me a little bit more. So by just the fact that I'm approaching them and wanting to learn, I know that I am dignifying the Mayan culture. And my intention in Tulum and in my everyday, which I'm totally focused now on this, is to share this wisdom with them, like inviting them to do events together or different things. And also what I'm learning, I also share it with others within my community, within the local community of Tulum, and the tourists. So it's been very, very meaningful, because just yesterday I did a cacao ceremony in a hotel, and it was very interesting for me to listen to the feedback in the end. The people told me, thank you so much, because this is I've been in Tulum for 5 days, and this is the first experience that I find authentic and, from the region. We find that Tulum is very glamorous and pretentious. So thank you for this authentic experience. And for me, that was an amazing feedback, And then on another way, within my community, there's a lot of healers coming into Tulum to share their practice, to share what they studied, right? Yoga, meditation, different therapies and treatments. But they all come to me, and not they all come to me, but they have, some of them, and a lot of them have come to me asking me for guidance in the Mayan wisdom. So I love this, because the locals want to learn, the tourist wants to learn. So for me, it's an opportunity, and it strengthens this path that I'm in right now. So that is where I'm at in this moment of my life. This is where I'm at. I am no expert. I am learning, but I am doing it with all my heart and as professionally as I can, being very, very cautious of how I bond with them and the result and what I want. I'm taking this very slowly because I want to do things right and amazing. I think everything is kind of reestablishing. I still cannot see you, but I think the connection is better. So that is what I have to say. I hope the connection was good and you could hear me.
Yes.
Thank you, Abril. I know that she can't hear us, but now I can hear Tanya.
Yay! I had to rush and get my other
happy.
computer, and I was like, oh, it was just something else. But happy to be here, sisters.
Here, here. Beautiful.
Oh, what
Tanya Ariales Rodriguez, por favor.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for invite. And first of all, I want to tell you, I am very blessed to be in this space. I think the spirit has been allowing us to be in a very strong. And every time that something is as strong as this, I always think that it's catalyst. It's always something that is going to be emerging out of the darkness. And oh my God, this is exactly what the indigenous communities always teach us, right? That we sit and listen to nature, that we sit and listen to everything that is already here, that Mother Earth has delivered to us, and that we just need to be receptive. And wow, sometimes we just fight it and we don't want to listen, but everything that is around happening is just always a chance to connect with the source. And I think this is what is happening even now that we have this possibility to connect with computers and Wi-Fi. But what we sometimes don't remember is that the first connection is energy. And I think that this is part of the conversation about that trust. Are you there?
Am I disconnected or is everyone else disconnected?
No, you're here. I can hear you. So I was saying
okay.
that
So it's just me because it says the stream was unable to connect due to a connection error. So am I?
No, we hear you. We hear you.
Am I the only one still on, or has everyone else's stream muted towards me? Oh, Tanya is speaking. Okay.
So I was saying that we always forget that energy is the first encounter, right? And energy travels. So one of the wisdoms that the indigenous tribes always tell us is that you can actually send your message across, and it doesn't matter if you're in the other side of the planet. Center. I'm saying this on that specific word of trust, because I believe that trust starts with the intention and with the energy that we are putting out there with our encounters. And the intention is, and I think that a lot of this is awareness, and a lot of this could be where I'm staying in life, because sometimes we are not still in the awakening phase of understanding what is the intention that we are getting into these encounters. And then I believe that as a foreigners, when we try to approach indigenous communities, we don't do this work first. And I think it's so important that we actually ground ourselves first and ask the big question: why am I here? Why I want to do this service? And where am I coming from? What is the intention to be here? And then within really answer the question if it's to give or is to take. And I think that those are the two very important variables when it comes to developing trust in any relationship, but especially in this topic, when we are creating this synergy in between we foreigners, either if it's in the economical aspect of going into trying to be productive with the land, or the social aspect of being productive with a specific schools or specific platforms, or the let's say whatever financial aspect of it, us trying to inject direct capital into the hands of indigenous tribes, or even help like activism, or as we call it, the instead of activist, I'm an activator, and deliver mask like my friend Marianne Thompson has done as a part of her initiatives, and some other friends in many platforms that we know, and family office, or like Nexus. We know a lot of people that are doing a specific job to help in the social aspect, educational aspect. But then the question is this: what is the intention behind it? Is it really to give, or is to take? Or it could be a specific synergy between the two conversations, because obviously we are blessed to being able to be exposed to the indigenous wisdom. We are one of those people who are receptive enough in this lifetime to go and be open to plant medicine, to be open to touch the ground and feel energized, stay and meditate and pray next to a water source, such a blessing cenote, or pray next to a beautiful plant that is either a native of the Amazon, and you understand that that plant was a form of communication or a food or some sort of survival for these tribes. And then because we are aware, or at least awakened enough to understand the synergy, we can respect it and we can offer that. But many had walked before. They haven't offered that, or many will walk in front of us that are not offering that. And I think that's part of the importance of how do we approach it from the point of view, or what is it there for me, or truly how can I serve, and how can I do this in a way that is the most beneficial for everyone. If we keep using indigenous cultures the way that the Western or European or whatever lack of colonization we still have, that refers into a struggle, power, and benefit, that is the disaster formula to keep having a disconnection in between the world of the wisdom in the sacred lands of all indigenous cultures, from the Americans, from Europe, from every part of the world, all the continents. And I think that that's a healing process that needs to happen. I think that trust, it's gonna come once we all decide that it's time to heal ourselves with that. So how amazing is that we enter to this world as a very beautiful, innocent soul, and then we start discovering the world, that we need to learn that human beings are here to respect other human beings, the ecosystems, the land, the mother. And then we can use our intellect that is given to us in a very divine connection to create spaces and co-create spaces for the good of all. And then we can set up solutions like marine, permaculture, help on the schools, like Abuelo Antonio doing handwork and all the energy work for healing that a lot of people that go to him, they go because of that. Every single person around the world that is doing a specific job to help us go into that healing space as a humanity are contributing. And the healing process with Mother Earth to start with, right? I'm a developer, and I'm an architect, and I do green architecture on the sense of understanding where my heart is when it comes to out this tree just because I want a vestibule, or I work around the tree and I get a chance to see a beautiful salam that is actually the house and the food for the birds of the region to coexist with my designs at the same time that will actually benefit all the people that is going to be or that is getting into Vita Tulum, one of the developments that I have there, because when they wake up, they see the toucans from their window peckers there, or because perhaps we have many hummingbirds coming and visit us. And on top of that, we created an ecosystem that is working for many species, not only for one. So I will encourage that part of the healing is to actually preserve the jungle and to understand that the jungle is sacred as the way that many other places are sacred around our ecosystems around the world. And I'm talking about above earth and underground. I'm talking about our beautiful waters that also need respect and much love. And that it has to come from a point of view of really what we want to offer and how are we going to get our lives aligned in a specific lifestyle that will get part of the solution of trust and respect. And then and only then we have something to say about how to collaborate with other people that, by the way, they will not need us. They need us because we have pushed them to need us, because their balances and their, I mean, I visited so many times. I mean, the evening that they did the city was specifically to have all the creation inside for food, for shelter, for everything. And they were so much advanced. The same people like in Teotihuacan with all the engineering and all the architecture and the urbanizations days when they actually were masters of engineers and they could even read the stars much better in an alliance, that they were able to get such a massive representations of perfection. And that's why I see about like if they were another planet or from the space, and they just were here and they were able to tune with the power that is here for everyone, and to keep it very, very balanced and very centered. That power is available once we actually want to connect with it, the heart, and once we want to connect with the heart of other people. It's so important that we get the lesson that whenever we are trying to talk about a project for the indigenous communities or any communities, it could be our neighborhood, we understand that it's not because of the ego that has to be there and that is trying to express in a way of anger or in a way of selfishness, or I mean, those energies, which are not evil energies, they are just energies that are there to tell us specifically one reason that we need to listen at that moment and we need to clear at that moment. And that's why I truly admire the work that a lot of these tribes are doing with medicine plants, because they really get you into the point of what is there, getting you away, preventing you to connect with the source in a way that is pure and beautiful from heart to heart. And I want to teach that to my daughter. And I mean, obviously not through plant medicine, but right now, what I can do is teach her from heart medicine. And I think that is so important because that's something we have available. We don't have to travel across the jungle like 3-4 hours to get Abuelo Antonio, that which all wish that we can. And believe me, I've been promoting him a lot, just because I truly believe that he's doing fantastic work. But not only that, I mean, there's a lot of healers around, like Tulum is full of healings, but, you know, walking in the Amazon, walking in different places, New Zealand, I mean, everyone, like all the part in Ireland, every single person that has the power of connectivity and some source, and they understand how to move that energy, is a healer. And they can do it from so many places, and it can be long distance. But the truth is that we need to allow ourselves to understand that we are healers. I'm a healer. You're a healer. Every single person that is there is a healer. And every day is a moment for us to recognize that the first person that we need to heal is ourselves. And then make sure that I'm in the best position to be able to offer that same line to my daughter or to the people who is in my near circle. Because you see, kids or children's heart are so pure, and we think that we are here to teach them something, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I mean, this is unbelievable beautiful. And the way that the Mother Earth and the way of the divine and the creation is helping us every single day is the same way that I feel that even my daughter, she doesn't know that I'm doing things for her, but I know she feels that I'm doing things for her. And then she turns to me and gives me this beautiful, pure, unconditional love smile and tells me with all her heart, I love you. And I think this is a way that we should approach life and approach Indigenous communities for whatever project that we have in our brains, because brain and heart connected will change the world for the better, for sure. So thank you so much for this space. If you want to know more about the work that I do, because I always, a big person that moves in between a spiritual and business life, in the sense of, like, I did my master's degree after I did my architectural degree, and then I'm a passion for archaeology, so I traveled the world, meditated with a bunch of really good friends inside of the pyramids of Giza, and I traveled to discover pyramids in every part of the continent, except I haven't been in Australia, I have to say that. But part of what I do, is because I really want to connect with the culture, with the true of what this world on us.
Oh, we lost her there. Let's see if she's going to come back. So we are currently 7 minutes over our time. I would love to just end this session with each person just saying how we can stay connected. So what's your Instagram? What's your website? If anyone wants to connect with me, my name is Virginia Salas Castillo. You can add me on Instagram at Virginia Salas Castillo or at Humans I Trust, which is probably
I guess it's just
easier
me here.
Oh, I think
it's
she.
not only me.
I think
Virginia,
she has the same problem
is
like
there?
me that. I think she had the same problem like me that I couldn't see or hear any of you are all here. Yeah. So so you guys can find me on
I
Instagram
cannot hear
at
you,
Humans
so
I Trust.
all I'm gonna say is thank you for this introduction of this team, the team of Rainbow Sisters. It started with Marin when I was pregnant. We saw each other in Martha's Vineyard, and I remember that we did the Sisterhood of the Rainbow Warriors, and now it's expanding. And I just want to say that I want this to be a heritage for my daughter, that I'm so blessed to be in this circle. My website is Green Habitat. Actually, you can find me in a couple of projects, but you can do greenhabitat.com. You can do vitatulum.com, and you can find me in social media with Tania Rayales Rodriguez, and contact me. I mean, we do a lot of things as bioconstruction and obviously green architecture, green design, protection of the species. We do it with a lot of people that is in the field. Make sure that we reintroduce the species that after the developments, they just fly away, go away. But we have footage before and after the developments to see that we are actually preserving part of the land and regenerate it, because I think that's huge. The regeneration of the land is for another topic, but it's part of what we need to do in order to reintroduce a lot of the healing between the relation human and Mother Earth. So thank you, sisters.
Thank you, love. Brandon, do you just want to tell all these wonderful humans that are here listening that want to really give their hearts into investing into Indigenous cultures, where they can connect with you? What's your website? What's your social?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. And what a beautiful finale, Tanya. I love how you just brought all the layers of transformation together. So really appreciate that. For folks who are interested in connecting with me, can also connect through Lightspace, which Marianne will share, I'm sure. If you'd like to connect with Unify, we do everything from train folks on doing the deep listening that Marian mentioned, to working with academics and others on shifting the metrics by which we measure our success in order to incentivize the centering and elevating of Indigenous communities. The website is www.unify.org. On Insta, I'm at the letter B, the letter E, Keating, Keating. And I'll put it in the chat as well. Again, my name is Brandon Keating, and deep gratitude to everybody here today.
Hey, love. And yeah, so again, because it was a little bit back and forth. So my name is Virginia Salas Castillo. Just find me on Instagram at Humans I Trust. That might be the easiest. I'd love to connect with anyone. And Marin, if you want to tell everyone where they can find and connect you, follow you on social, and support Lightspace. It muted again, my love.
Oh, thank you, Virginia. Thank you, everyone. This is such a beautiful sister gathering. It's just hearts, heart cartwheels. Just like so happy. This is great, super great. So you can connect with me. I think the best. I'm with socials. It's always I'm improving with socials. So LinkedIn is really that's you can find me on LinkedIn at Marian Ryan Sareth. And you can also, our website, Lightspace, it's lightspace.earth. And then also on Instagram, I'm lightgoddess.earth, and what else? Or _earth, something like that. Yeah. So I'm improving with socials. And so and it really at lightspace.earth that you can learn more about the projects. We're going to be uploading everything that we're doing, working with the Mayans, and then also the Lakota and the Cherokee in the US, and then also the Shipibo tribe and communities in Peru are our current projects, and so you can learn more about them on our website. And really just super welcome everyone to co-create together, and super happy to be with you all today. Thank you so much to Anu, the State of Women, to everyone who co-created this beautiful space for us to come together and share our wisdom, magic, and joy with each other. Love you all.
Hey. Love you. And I will just speak for Abril, because I know that she can't hear us right now, but also just connect with Marin and with Lightspace if you want to be connected to her. They work together and do incredible work. And yeah, just from my side, thank you for everyone for tuning in, for being in this conversation. Thank you to all of our beautiful speakers for sharing their work and their wisdom and their dedication. Oh, wonderful. Abril can hear me now. To these Indigenous cultures and Indigenous wisdom and passing on this knowledge. I truly believe that when learning from where we come from, we will be able to create this more beautiful future in unity together. So thank you to Amplifying Her Voice and State of Women and Anu and Lily and the entire team for amplifying Indigenous voices today, and and all the wisdom and the work that is shared here. I think it's really important. So, and I think, just to be clear as well, we're not speaking for us. It's not about us today. It's really about the people that we are looking to uplift and highlight. So, don't look at the color of my skin or any of that. I am pure source energy right now, trying to support the elders and our ancestors and in our Indigenous cultures around us. So with all that, so much love. Thank you all for being here. And I will hand over to Lily or the team now to introduce the next panel. And just thank you to the work, to everyone that you're doing, and to everyone listening. See how you can get involved with these incredible ladies and supporting these projects, because we're only going to do this together. We need your support. We need your help. Mwah.